What's going on, everybody? So I'm out at the pool watching my son swim around, and I think he thinks he's a fish, but I digress. But anyway, I wanted to make this video just to tell a quick, I guess, summary why I make the bold statement to say that the Democratic Party hate black people. And this is something that it took a while for me to realize, a while for me to understand. It took a little bit to chew on, kind of like a piece of steak. Steak is very difficult to chew and digest. But it was a piece of steak for me to chew and digest the fact that the Democratic Party historically has hated black people. Now, nowadays, people will argue that the Democratic Party hates America and hates everybody, and I would concur with that argument. But when you look at history and you look at the people that are being used, abused, and tricked and conned into supporting the Democratic Party, I have to say the race that's getting the raw end of the deal is black people. And the reason I say that is because for years and years and years, people have told us that we should vote Democrat, that the Republicans are racist, that the Republicans don't care about black people, that the Republicans are somehow anti African American agenda, African American expansion, prosperity. And it has all been a lie. It's unfortunate because a lot of us believe it blindly. You know, I consider myself a passive aggressive Democrat. I voted for Barack Obama in his second term. If you would have asked me was I Democrat or Republican my whole life, I would have said a Democrat. And to be honest, until now, I don't even know why I would even say I was a Democrat. I didn't even know the difference between the Democrat and the Republican Party. If you would ask me what a conservative was, I wouldn't have known. This is the honest to God truth. And so the Democrats, in my honest opinion, based on my research, very impartial research, I believe that Democrats have historically hated black people. And I think they still hate black people today. Now, this is why I say this. It's not baseless, and it's not me coming up with something to make you feel good. I'm just telling the truth. And if you disagree with me, you could literally go look this stuff up for yourself and fact check me. First and foremost, I'm going to start with the Ku Klux Klan. I grew up believing that the Ku Klux Klan was probably Republicans because the Republicans are racist, right? The Ku Klux Klan definitely murdered, slaughtered, intimidated, and damaged the lives of so many black people. Who created the Democratic Party? Who founded the Democratic Party? I mean, not the Democratic Party, but the Ku Klux Klan. The Democratic Party. That was astonishing to me. I could not believe it. And then when you talk about the ideas and the pursuit of the Democratic Party, even way back then, they were the white supremacists. They were the ones that wanted white nationalists or white nationalism. They are the ones that did not want black people to vote. They literally promoted and voted in favor of anti-laws and legislation that will give black people the benefit to vote and become equal citizens and desegregate from schools. Not one person can deny that. Those are facts. You may not like them. You may be eating steak right now, and it's going to take a little bit to digest, but those are facts. Then you go to Bill Clinton, and you talk about the war on drugs. Now, I'm all for promoting laws and being a law-abiding citizen, but they created a war on drugs that affected black people and put more black people behind bars and separated them from their families like no other legislation, no other program ever in history. That to me is a direct attack against African American people and the black community. Go look it up. Let's keep moving to more contemporary history. I mean, we can look at Barack Obama. What did he do for black people? Nothing. He did nothing. We can look at the rhetoric that's pushed about anti-police rhetoric that was promoted by Barack Obama. What did that do for the black community? Nothing. See, they're not trying to tell young brothers to follow the law. They're not trying to tell young brothers how to best behave themselves and put themselves at a proper position when dealing with law enforcement, which could avoid 95 to 98% of them getting killed. They don't tell you to sign up for the police department and monitor your own communities. They're not telling you that. They're telling you to resist, which then makes you more volatile towards police, which then causes more interactions or more negative interactions with police. The residual effect of what Barack Obama did in relation to police made matters worse. Not only for police, not only for black police officers, but for police officers in general. And what do you see happen when you ridicule and you demonize police? Where they stop patrolling communities, where they're going to get fired for just looking at somebody wrong. They're not going to get they're going to get fired if they make an illegal arrest and somebody just decides to resist arrest. So they quit patrolling in the communities. And what do? The crime rate spikes. What did Barack Obama do for Chicago? Nothing. I don't know any legislation. I don't know any cry. Nobody was sitting out there crying about the separation of young people from their families in Chicago. Whether they get murdered or sent to prison or they high on drugs. Nobody's crying about their children being separated from them. Nobody's trying to tell drug dealers to get out of jail free or get out of jail early so they can be reunited with their family, committing felony crimes, just like people crossing the border. I don't hear them talking about that. They did nothing. Then you move to, we could talk about even right now. What are the Democrats doing? They're picking illegal immigrants over black people. Again, they don't need your vote. You can't do nothing for them. So they don't care about your families. They don't care about you being separated. They want the next voting block. And the next voting block is illegal immigrants. They don't even, to be honest, they don't even care about legal immigrants. They only care about illegal immigrants. Do your research. What are they doing? What did you see? What's the propaganda on TV? They literally, politicians are crying in the street, making a big deal about reuniting families. And see, they using illegals too. And if you're a legal immigrant and you watching this, you need to beware because you next. What are they going to do to you next? They're going to use you until you vote for them, and then they're going to throw you away. Did you hear what Chuck Schumer said about illegals? Did you hear how Hillary Clinton was talking about illegals before President Trump became president? Barack Obama deported more illegal immigrants than any president in history combined. You next. They only crying at these facilities, these detention facilities, because they want your vote, because it's close to midterms. And then once they're done with you, if President Trump is to be able to get DACA passed or whatever, and they don't just automatically give people amnesty, they come up with better programs where people can come in here legally instead of illegally. We build a wall and secure the border. They have no use for you. They're not going to use you anymore. They're going to be on to doubling down on the LBGTQ community or whatever the acronym is today. I think it's like 40 letters now. But they're going to go on to that community and push a false agenda to get you to vote, to get your emotions involved. I have conversations with people all the time about President Trump. They go, oh, he's a racist. I say, well, name something that President Trump has done negatively against you. You're a woman in America. What has negatively affected you in America? Or you get more money back on your taxes? Okay, that's negative. Okay, I guess you call that negative. Female unemployment is the lowest it's been in like 20 years. I guess that's negative. You know, he is putting women on a pedestal and literally is promoting women to being in positions that they've never been in before. You know, the first successful campaign manager in history was Kellyanne Conway, who obviously was Trump's campaign manager, promoting women to be successful in America. What are y'all crying about? What has he done negative against black people in America? Give you more money back on your taxes? Give him more tax incentives to single moms, which obviously over 70% of African American homes now, well over 70% of African American homes now are primarily supported by single moms. He gave them more money. More money back on their tax, gave them a tax break. Is that affecting black people? He asked you to come to the table and let's talk about policy. Let's talk about prison reform. But then you fake leaders don't want to go talk to him. That's on you. That's not him. What is he doing negative against black people? He turned around, HBCU, signed an executive order, giving them $1 billion. Some say that's more than what Barack Obama did. For those of you who don't know what HBCUs are, that's historical black colleges. Nobody want to talk about 1998 when President Trump was awarded, was given an award for his contributions to the minority community through the Rainbow Coalition. Jesse Jackson, he was honored alongside Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali. But they don't want to tell you that. All they want to do is say things negative. But it's time for us to wake up, man. People are putting hashtag walk away. You know, hey, somebody just brought up abortions. They're supporting Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood only facilitate abortions. Trust me, I know. They only facilitate abortions. Who has the most abortions per capita in the country? Black people. Where is these Planned Parenthoods located at? In the hood, on almost every corner, just like corner stores selling alcohol. They don't want you to live, they want you to die. They don't want you to reproduce, they want you not to. Your vote is not useful. Your vote is not useful to them. So they don't need you to reproduce. Because if you ever become aware of what's going on, you ever become a stand-up person, you would never vote for them again. So what they want to do is sustain a reasonable, ignorant population of people that they can control. 50% of Americans didn't even vote. So there's a whole population of people in America who are just negligent in voting, or they're untapped territory. And I honestly believe, as sure as I'm sitting here today, that the Democratic Party literally do not like America, and by all means that I've seen, that they hate black people. And I really wish that we would wake up and wish we would come to the conclusions by doing research. Don't believe me. Go research it yourself. Go look up the foundation of the Democratic Party. Go look up the KKK. Go look at what they did to black people historically. Go look at what happened to the black community after the war on drugs. Go look at the separation of them family members. Look at what they did. What legislation have they passed? What agenda have they done for African American people since Barack Obama was in presidency in office for 8 years? I cannot name a legislation, but we could talk all day about what they did for LGBTQ and what they tried to do for illegals, but they have done nothing for black people. And that's all I'm saying. But y'all can get mad all you want and say what you want. You know, that's why I got my MAGA hat on. I wear it to the pool. I'm out here hanging out with my son, and I wear it because I'm a person with a brain. And I've decided to walk away and be independent as a thinker. Do my own research. I looked up the Democratic Party. I looked at all these things. The Republican Party was founded, primarily the Republican Party was founded in defense of the Democratic Party. And it was led by a whole bunch of black people. The NAACP was created by Republicans. They're not going to tell you that in school. They're not going to tell you that in your books. So I'm gonna keep rolling. I know there's trolls on here that's hating, but for the rest of y'all, share this video, like this video, get it out there. I know it was a long conversation. I'm gonna repost it on YouTube, but this information needs to get out, and we need to walk away. We need to walk to the light, whatever that light is. I'm not saying I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a conservative person, and I'm a free thinker. And I'm going, and I vote based on who's going to do the best for this country, who's going to do the best for my family. Other than that, I don't want to hear it. And you could go down the list. I challenge anybody who's watching this, who disagree with me, come up with facts, not emotions. Come up with facts. Emotions don't get you nowhere. Probably get you crying next to your bed late at night. But facts is what's going to make people change. Facts is what's going to drive people to success. I'm not bound by no party. Go home, do your research, figure out what the truth is, and then you make your politicians run for policies that promote what you believe. You don't vote for people who doing whatever just because they believe something. You got to pick between the worst of two evils. What you should do is you should be making them run on policies that you believe in. Your policies, what's going to help your community. And if it's not, then too bad. They can't run, they won't get your votes. Anyway, I love y'all. Just Google me, Brandon Tatum. You'll find all my social media. Follow me on all my stuff. Share this video, like this video. People that hate it, it's because it's too much logic. It's because it's a ribeye steak and it's hard to chew and digest. You know what I'm saying? They want tofu. I'm giving you real steak. All right? I might even give it to you without cooking it. Raw steak, truth. Hard to digest. But you better digest it before it's too late. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all later. Peace.